Question. Did you ever have a friend that you really thought you knew like the back of your hand? Let me tell you a story of shock and surprise. Back in 30. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I'd like to also think that I help save time, effort, energy, and even once in a great while, sanity. How's everybody doing today? And I hope that this video, as always, finds everybody doing well. If you are brand new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a veteran here, thank you, thank you, thank you humbly. And if you're just dropping by to say hi, hello. Hope you come back one day and stick around. Okay, listen. I had a best friend, and let's just say her name was Roz, okay? And she and I were just totally like sisters. We were like totally like family members to each other. She was 16 years older than me, but for some reason we clicked. She was interested. She was working in the medical field, and at one point I also worked in a medical facility. But this was in two different locations at two different times. So we met each other every day, going to work, and one thing led to another. And we became really good friends over time. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. But I noticed something. Just imagine like your best girlfriend, okay? Like you complete each other's sentences, just like unpretentious, just like all the masks come off. You just confide in each other constantly. And we've done that for like years. Like she passed in 2004 and we were friends since like 1981. So we were friends for quite a long time. Every single day went by. We spoke to each other religiously, maybe about 2 to 3 times per day. We were inseparable friends. But you think you know someone, okay? So, we would visit each other. She would come by me. I would go by her. And at one point in time, it was like on a regular basis. Then all of a sudden, I noticed that she would not like be as encouraging or welcoming to having me over for a visit at some point, which I thought was like kind of like weird, out of character for her. And I was asking her if she's all right. How's everything going with her husband? Her husband and I, we were all, the three of us, like really excellent friends, just like really more like family, than friends, to be honest with you. It's just an incredible friendship. But I noticed that she wasn't having me over often. Like it was always okay for her to visit me, but it was like hardly ever okay for me to go there, which in the past was a common thing that we always back and forth to each other. You know what I'm saying? So it was like normal. And then it just kind of like suddenly stopped. And I just found that like really weird. So finally I did get to go there, but I noticed a couple of boxes around. Okay. Just noticed. She says, I'm organizing. Okay. Didn't think much of it. Then, of course, always coming to my house, still talking to 3 times a day, always hanging out, everything cool. And I was like, well, a long time has come by before, I went to visit with her. Because I used to like to go in her neighborhood. She had like really great shopping. She had like a dollar store right across the street from her house. How convenient is that? Like literally just like cross the street and there's the dollar store. So we used to love to go there and, go all over to the, Queens Mall and all these other places, locally, just, normal stuff. Just have our coffee, hang out, chew the fat. And then I'm like noticing, a couple of years went by and I still didn't get an invitation over her house, which was like kind of weird. She probably visited me about 5 or 6 times in between. So again, I thought that was like strange. So then one day, now I always knew she kept a stockpile in her room. Okay. She had a room that I used to goof around called nuclear room. And that was the end of that. Literally, I even used to joke with her and say, all I need is my credit card to just go shopping in that room, which she would. I never saw a room like that in my life. This is in an apartment, mind you. It was a co op, but it still was an apartment. She owned it, but it was an apartment, not a house. So one day I went out there, I opened the door. I could not believe what I was looking at. And it breaks my heart. She was a hoarder. I had to like walk over things. It's amazing that I didn't collapse and trip on everything. It was like mountains and mountains of stuff. I didn't know what to say. I said, something's different here. I said, what? So I had to blurt it out. And I asked her, I said, Roz, what's going on? What do you mean what's going on? It was like she was blindsided. It was like normal for her. It was normal, but not normal because she kind of sort of knew to not have me over. So there was like a tiny path for me to get around. And if you ever see those shows, similar shows about people with such a mental disorder, of which it is, there's, literally a problem there. I knew she always liked to shop till she dropped, and I never understood why she kept shopping. Even though she was frugal-minded, she just had this shopping obsession. So that's why it was like an inconsistency. You're frugal-minded, but you're constantly spending things. I just could never understand it. I think what disturbed me the most about the whole situation is not so much the symptom that she was hoarding, but the other symptom, the other disability of her to talk about it and to get the necessary help she needed. And I don't know. I just don't understand how her husband, who was a dear friend of mine too, he passed away too. They were very, very, very much in love, very loving couple. And I knew that once she left the world, I knew sooner or later, not so distant future, I would say about 2 years later, her husband passed away. And when she passed, her husband was left with some mess. Well, I did go over a number of times and help him. We boxed everything. There used to be a thing called an eBay store where you brought your stuff there and they would give you a little bit of money or whatever, and you unhaul your stuff there and they would sell it, something like that. This is back in the early middle 2000s. But the point of what I'm saying is, you think you know someone, you think you know them well. But what hurts me the most wasn't for me. It was for the personal pain that my friend, was living with, and it manifested into that problem. She had unfortunate abuse issues, not from her husband, but from a family member growing up. And it affected her. I just feel so sorrowful for someone that may be harboring something. And everyone just keep your eyes and ears and everything open and just alert for your loved ones. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. I just thought I'd share that. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. Why? Because I really do appreciate you. If you have a problem with anything like this, get the necessary help that you need. Don't let it get as far as it did, like my friend did. Take good care now. Have a wonderful day. And I hope to see everyone again when? Real soon.